Situated 123 miles from the Austrian capital Vienna, the small town of Spielberg is perhaps one of the trickier locations from a travel and accommodation point of view. But those who make the trip are rewarded with stunning views of a track that rarely disappoints where the action is concerned. The weather forecast for the weekend makes for interesting reading, with rain expected to hit the track on all 3 days of running in Austria. Austria is also a home race for Red Bull, and the reigning world champions will be looking to continue their fine start of the season. Red Bull have won each of the opening 8 races so far this year, but can expect to be put under pressure from the likes of Mercedes, Aston Martin, Ferrari and Alpine. Starting with McLaren, will introduce the first phase of their much anticipated upgrade package at the Austrian Grand Prix, with team principal Andrea Stella describing it as an opportunity to turn around their season. McLaren endured a tricky start to the 2023 campaign after declaring pre-season that they had missed their projected targets. The team scored just 17 points from 8 races and sitting 6th in the constructors' standings. The car still proved excessively draggy and off the pace compared to some of its midfield rivals. Meanwhile, Red Bull studies show that the Red Bull RB19's floor and suspension have provided many clues about the source of its performance superiority over the field. But one aspect of that performance is how it derives a bigger speed gain from DRS than rival cars, has not been fully explained before. There is perhaps a vital clue in the profile of the car's diffuser ramp and in how closely the ramp's trailing edge meets up with the lower beam wing. Max Verstappen and Red Bull continued their charge at the Canadian Grand Prix as the Dutchman equaled Ayrton Senna's tally of 41 race wins and gave the Milton Keynes squad their 100th victory in F1 to date. It is an incredible run from drivers and team who are now looking to go 10 races unbeaten, if we include Verstappen's triumph at the 2022 season finale in Abu Dhabi. Staggeringly, going even further back, Red Bull have only been beaten once in the last 20 races. Aston Martin and Mercedes look closer than they have been all season at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with their upgraded packages showing plenty of promise, while Ferrari also recovers from a tricky qualifying session to show encouraging pace on race day. It will be fascinating to see how the top 4 teams shape up on the much shorter Red Bull Ring circuit, which brings its own set of challenges, and whether any of the competition can step up to defeat the reigning world champions on their home soil. There will also be eyes on Alpine, who have worked their way back into contention after a tough start to the campaign, while 2022 arch-rivals McLaren are looking to make a similar jump with the first phase of their significant mid-season upgrade package. And Williams will be hoping that their high-flying performance in Montreal is not a one-off. Fernando Alonso reckons that the Austrian Grand Prix will not be ideal for Aston Martin to optimize its latest upgrades owing to the compressed timetable required by Formula 1 sprint weekends. For the Canadian GP earlier this month, Aston Martin debuted more aggressive sidepod bodywork and a revised floor design for its AMR23, which Alonso used to secure his 6th podium results of the season, finishing 2nd to Max Verstappen. But the Spaniard says Aston Martin's push to fully understand its update risks being stymied by the weekend's Austrian GP, which will run as the 2nd sprint round of the season after Azerbaijan. Formula 1 can today confirm it will pilot a more efficient energy generation system at this weekend's Austrian Grand Prix, delivering an estimated 90% carbon reduction of the operation of paddock, pit lane and the F1 broadcast area, in comparison to last year's Austrian Grand Prix. At the event in Spielberg, a low-carbon system will be used to power all garages and motorhomes belonging to the F1, F1 teams and the FIA, as well as the pit wall, the timing room, and the Formula 1 Event Technical Center, ETC, where the at-track broadcast operations are housed. The energy system will produce enough energy to meet peak and continuous demand of the race weekend and will be powered by more sustainable sources, including a hydro-treated vegetable oil, HVO biofuel, and 600 square meters of solar panels on the inner field of the final corner at the Red Bull Ring that will provide an estimated 2.5 megawatts of energy across the event. Diving into tires, the FIA recently has tweaked the tire regulations for Formula 1 sprint qualifying to avoid the unintended consequences that emerged in Baku at the first event held under the 2023 rules. The change means that teams won't pursue clever tire usage strategies that could see them running intermediate tires in a dry session. However, due to the revised sprint format, there will be a change in the number of sets of tires given to the teams. Pirelli will once again bring 2 sets of the hard tire, but they will also nominate 4 sets of the mediums and just 6 sets of the softs. With the sprint format in play for the 2nd time this season, first practice and qualifying will take place on Friday, June 30th, followed by the Sprint Shootout and Sprint on Saturday, July the 1st, and the Grand Prix on Sunday, July the 2nd. Remember, you can always box here at F1 Box. Like this video and subscribe for all the latest in Formula 1.